Let me ask you something very simple. Are you alive, or are you just breathing? Because there is a big difference between waking up every day and truly living every day. Some people live for 70 years. And some people truly live only for 7 minutes in their entire life. Why? Because one lived on autopilot and the other lived with awareness. Today, I want to talk about how to live life to the fullest, not loudly, not dramatically, but meaningfully, peacefully, and powerfully. Most people think they are living, but actually they are only existing. They wake up, rush through the day, scroll through their worries at night, and sleep with the same heaviness in the heart. Days pass, years pass, but life feels like it never truly begins. Living life to the fullest does not mean doing extraordinary things every day. It means doing ordinary things with extraordinary awareness. A cup of tea can become a moment of peace. A walk can become a moment of healing, and silence can become a moment of clarity, if we are truly present. We spend so much time chasing happiness outside that we forget the one place where it truly lives, within us. We believe that when the situation changes, when people change, when success arrives, then we will finally be happy. But happiness does not wait for perfect conditions. It grows in grateful hearts. Two people can be given the same life, the same opportunities, and the same struggles. One becomes bitter and the other becomes better. The difference is not in circumstances. The difference is in thinking. Fear silently controls many lives. Fear of failing, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough. So we delay our dreams, we hide our true selves, and we settle for comfort instead of growth. But fear never disappears on its own. It only disappears when we walk through it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to move forward despite fear. Life always rewards those who are willing to try again after falling. Relationships are the real wealth of life. You may achieve great things, but if your heart is lonely, the victory will feel hollow. Speak with kindness, even when you are tired. Listen with patience, even when you are busy. Forgive not because the other person is always right, but because you deserve peace. At the end of life, what will matter most are not titles or trophies, but the love you gave and the love you received. Many people are trapped in their past. A past mistake, a broken relationship, a missed opportunity. They keep replaying old scenes in the mind and wonder why their present feels heavy. The past is a teacher, not a prison. Learn from it, bow to the lesson, and move forward lighter. You cannot drive into the future while constantly looking into the rear view mirror. Living life to the fullest also means slowing down enough to feel life. We rush so much that we forget to breathe deeply, to notice the sky, to hear our own thoughts. Silence is not empty. It is full of answers. When you sit quietly with yourself, you begin to understand what truly matters and what you were chasing only out of pressure. One day, life will not ask how much you earned or how famous you became. It will ask how honestly you lived, how gently you loved, and how bravely you faced your fears. So live in such a way that when you look back, your heart smiles instead of regrets. Because in the end, a fulfilled life is not measured by years. It is measured by meaning. Life often feels like a race, but very few people stop to ask where they are actually running. We wake up chasing deadlines, expectations, and approvals, and somewhere along the way, we forget to chase ourselves. Living life to the fullest is not about squeezing more into your schedule. It is about bringing more meaning into your moments. Even the simplest day can feel rich when your mind is not constantly rushing into tomorrow. Many people postpone happiness. They tell themselves, after this problem is solved, I will relax. After this goal is achieved, I will enjoy. But life does not wait at the finish line. Life happens in the middle of the journey. If you keep postponing joy, one day you may realize you reached the end without ever truly feeling alive. Happiness is not a reward you earn later. It is a choice you practice daily. We often underestimate the power of our thoughts. The same situation can become a blessing or a burden depending on how we look at it. When the mind is negative, even good things feel heavy. When the mind is positive, even struggles feel meaningful. Your mind is like a lens. Clean it with gratitude, and life appears brighter without changing a single situation. People fear failure deeply, but what they fear even more is being seen while failing. That is why many give up silently before they even begin. But growth never happens in comfort zones. A seed must break to become a tree. A river must fight through rocks to reach the ocean. If your life feels difficult, it may be because something powerful is trying to emerge from within you. Relationships shape the emotional quality of our life. A harsh word spoken in anger can stay in someone's heart for years, and a single kind sentence can heal wounds we never knew existed. Choose your words carefully. Choose your reactions gently. Not every battle needs to be fought. Not every silence needs to be broken. Peace is created not by winning arguments, but by protecting hearts. Many people live with the burden of yesterday. Regrets whisper at night, and mistakes replay in the mind again and again. But the past cannot be edited. It can only be understood. Once the lesson is learned, the pain has done its job. Carrying it further only steals strength from the present. You deserve a future that is not constantly punished by an outdated memory. Slowing down is an act of courage in a world addicted to speed. When you slow down, you listen more. When you listen more, you understand better. And when you understand better, you suffer less. Silence teaches what noise can never explain. Stillness shows what movement tries to hide. One day, all that will remain of you will be the impact you left on hearts. Not your stress, not your worries, not your unfinished tasks. Only your love, your kindness, your intentions. So live in a way that your presence feels like light, and your absence is remembered with a smile. Because a life lived with awareness, compassion, and courage is a life truly lived to the fullest. Life becomes heavy not because it is difficult, but because we try to carry everything at once. We carry expectations, comparisons, worries, regrets, and the pressure to become someone we were never meant to be. Slowly, the heart gets tired, not from work, but from pretending. Living fully begins the day you decide to put down what is not yours to carry and walk with honesty instead of approval. Many people measure life through achievements. They count success in numbers, applause, and recognition. But the truth is, success without peace becomes a burden. You can reach the top of the mountain and still feel empty if you lost yourself while climbing. Real success is when your outer growth does not shrink your inner world. When your ambition rises, but your humility rises with it. Comparison quietly kills joy. We look at someone else's highlight and judge our behind the scenes. We see their success, but not their struggle. We see their confidence, but not their fears. The moment you compare your journey with someone else's, you stop respecting your own path. Every soul has a different pace, a different purpose, and a different process. A flower does not bloom faster by competing with the sun. Sometimes life breaks you softly before it strengthens you deeply. A loss, a failure, a betrayal. These moments feel like endings, but often they are silent beginnings. Pain reshapes priorities. It teaches you who matters, what matters, and how little most things actually matter. The heart that has been broken once becomes more careful, more compassionate, and more awake. We run so fast that we forget to feel. We eat without tasting, talk without listening, rest without relaxing, and live without noticing. The mind is always in the next moment, while the body is stuck in the present. But life only happens now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, only now. When you learn to be where your feet are, peace follows naturally. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It is about freeing your own heart from the weight it was never designed to carry. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to suffer. Some people will never apologize. Some wounds will never get explanations. Healing begins when you stop waiting for closure from outside and create it within yourself. There is a quiet strength in choosing calm over chaos. The world may shout, accuse, rush, and demand, but you always get to choose your response. You don't need to attend every argument you are invited to. You don't need to prove your worth to those who cannot see it. Inner peace grows when you stop negotiating with noise. One day, life will slow you down whether you choose to slow down or not. The question is not how long you lived, but how deeply you lived. Did you love without fear? Did you try without quitting? Did you stay kind even when life was unkind to you? A life lived fully is not loud, it is sincere, and sincerity always leaves a lasting echo. Most people spend their entire life trying to become someone they are not, and in the process, they slowly forget who they truly are. From a very young age, we are taught to impress, to compete, to compare, and to prove. Somewhere along the way, we stop listening to our own heart and start living according to other people's expectations. Living life to the fullest begins the moment you stop asking, "What will people think?" and start asking, "What feels right in my soul?" We often believe that control gives us peace, so we try to control situations, people, outcomes, and even time. But the more tightly you hold life, the more it slips through your fingers. Peace does not come from control. It comes from trust. Trust that not everything needs to happen your way to still work out in the best way. Surrender is not weakness. It is wisdom that understands the limits of human effort. Gratitude has the power to completely transform ordinary days into extraordinary ones. When you wake up complaining, even blessings feel heavy. When you wake up thankful, even problems feel manageable. The same roof, the same food, the same routine. Nothing changes on the outside, but everything changes on the inside. A grateful heart sees abundance even in simplicity. Many people are exhausted not because they do too much, but because they care too much about the wrong things. They overthink opinions, they overvalue criticism, and they underestimate their own worth. Not every thought deserves your attention. Not every voice deserves your energy. Learn to choose what you feed your mind, because your mind shapes the quality of your life. Sometimes, the hardest battles are the ones no one sees. Silent struggles, hidden tears, unspoken fears. Everyone you meet is fighting a war you know nothing about. That is why kindness should never be optional. A soft word can become a deep relief. A small gesture can become a turning point. You may never know how deeply your behavior impacts someone's life. Detachment is one of the greatest arts of living. It does not mean you stop loving. It means you stop clinging, love deeply, but do not lose yourself. Care sincerely, but do not destroy your peace. When you learn to stay connected without being dependent, you become emotionally strong without becoming emotionally cold. Life has a way of teaching patience through delay and faith through uncertainty. When things do not move according to your plan, it does not mean they are not moving at all. Seeds grow silently under the soil before they ever break the surface. Just because you cannot see progress does not mean progress is not happening. In the end, what will matter most is not how perfect your life looked from the outside, but how peaceful it felt on the inside. Did you learn to let go when holding on was hurting? Did you learn to speak when silence was suffocating you? Did you learn to rest when the world demanded more from you than you could give? A life lived fully is not a life without problems. It is a life where problems did not stop you from loving, growing, forgiving, and hoping. And when you reach the quiet moments of reflection, may you be able to say with a soft smile that you did not just survive life, you truly lived it. Life does not become meaningful when everything is perfect. It becomes meaningful when you learn how to remain steady even when everything is uncertain. Many people keep waiting for the right time, to live, to start, to heal, to be happy. But life does not announce its perfect moment. It quietly passes while we are busy postponing courage. The truth is, the right time is not found later, it is created now. We often confuse peace with absence of problems, but peace is not the absence of storms. It is the ability to stay calm within the storm. Some days will be gentle, some days will be heavy. Both are part of the same journey. The mature heart does not complain about changing seasons. It learns how to grow in each one. The mind gets tired long before the body does. Most exhaustion is not physical, it is emotional. Carrying expectations, disappointments, comparisons, and unspoken pain drains energy quietly. That is why rest is not only about sleep. Sometimes you need to rest from people, from noise, from pressure, and from the constant need to prove something. A rested mind sees solutions where a tired mind sees only problems. We try very hard to be understood by the world, yet we spend very little time understanding ourselves. We want people to respect our feelings, but we ignore our own boundaries. We want love from outside, but we starve the inside. The relationship you have with yourself becomes the blueprint for every other relationship in your life. When you start treating yourself with patience and honesty, your whole world begins to change. Every person you meet is a lesson. Some teach you how to love. Some teach you what to avoid. Some test your patience. Some reveal your strength. Not everyone is meant to stay forever. Some only come to prepare you for who you are becoming. When you stop forcing people to stay and start trusting the flow of life, your heart becomes lighter. We spend so much time proving that we are strong that we forget how to be soft. Yet softness is not weakness. It takes great courage to stay kind in a harsh world. It takes strength to forgive when you are hurting. It takes wisdom to stay humble when you are winning. Real power does not shout. It remains silent and steady. There will be days when nothing makes sense, when effort feels unnoticed, when prayers feel unanswered. Those days are not signs of failure. They are signs of preparation. Growth often feels confusing before it becomes clear. Just because the road feels dark does not mean you are going the wrong way. Sometimes the light appears only after you keep walking a little longer. In the end, life will not be remembered by how fast you ran, but by how deeply you felt, by how sincerely you loved, by how gently you treated others when no one was watching. When you begin to live with awareness instead of anxiety, with purpose instead of pressure, with faith instead of fear, life slowly starts to feel lighter. And when the noise of the world fades for a moment, and you sit quietly with your own heart, may you feel content, and knowing that you did not waste your days trying to impress the world. You spent them trying to become a better human being. And that is what it truly means to live life to the fullest. Let me leave you with one final thought. One day, you will not remember how many followers you had, how many likes you got, or how many people praised you. You will remember the moments that made you feel alive, the people who made you feel loved, and the courage you showed when it was hard. So live fully, love deeply, grow silently, and walk humbly, because in the end, a meaningful life is not a long life, it is a lived life.